I haven't done this in a couple of weeks, so let's do another reading of some legislation. I'm going to do this a couple times today, actually. My glasses are actually dirty. Well, let me clean them. So today I'm going to, well, this video, I'm going to read the 116th Congress of the United States of America, Senate Joint Resolution 7. So, joint resolution to direct the removal of the United States Armed Forces from hostilities in the Republic of Yemen that have been authorized by Congress. Resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled. Section 1. Findings. Congress makes the following findings. 1. Congress has the sole power to declare war under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11 of the United States Constitution. 2. Congress has not declared war with respect to or provided a specific statutory authorization for the conflict between military forces led by Saudi Arabia, including forces from the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Kuwait, Egypt, Jordan, Morocco, Senegal, and Sudan, the Saudi-led coalition. And yeah, somebody was reporting on a coup that happened in Sudan recently, so might want to look into that. Against the Houthis, also known as the Ansar Allah, in the Republic of Yemen. 3. Since March 2015, members of the United States. Oh, that was We Are Changed, by the way. That did the that reported a coup in Sudan. Since March 2015, members of the United States Armed Forces have been introduced into hostilities between the Saudi-led coalition and the Houthis, including providing to the Saudi-led coalition aerial targeting assistance, intelligence sharing, and mid-flight aerial refueling. Yes, for bombing school buses full of children. 4. The United States has established a joint combined planning cell with Saudi Arabia in which members of the United States Armed Forces assist in aerial targeting and help coordinating military intelligence activities. 5. In December 2017, Secretary of Defense James N. Mattis stated, "We have gone in to be helpful where we can in identifying how you do target analysis and how you make certain you hit the right thing," like school buses full of children. Can you tell I'm not going to let that one go? 6. The conflict between the Saudi-led coalition and the Houthis constitutes within the meaning of Section 4A of the War Powers Resolution 50 U.S.C. 1543A, either hostilities or a situation where imminent involvement in hostilities is clearly indicated by the circumstances into which United States Armed Forces have been introduced. 7. Section 5C of the War Powers Resolution 50 U.S.C. 1544C states that at any time the United States Armed Forces are engaged in hostilities outside the territory of the United States, possessions and territories without a declaration of war or specific statutory authorization, such forces shall be removed by the President if the Congress so directs. Number 8. In Section 8C of the War Powers Resolution 50 U.S.C. 1547C defines the introduction of the United States Armed Forces to include the assignment of members of such armed forces to command, coordinate, participate in the movement of, or accompany the regular or irregular military forces of any foreign country or government when such military forces are engaged, or there exists an imminent threat to such forces will become engaged in hostilities, and activates that the United States is conducting in support of the Saudi-led coalition, including aerial refueling and targeting assistance, fall into this definition. So that's basically saying, oh, if people ask for help, we can help them. If we get attacked, or sorry, if we got troops somewhere and Congress wants the president to remove them, he has to. 9. Section 1013 of the Department of the State Authorization Act, fiscal years 1984-1985, 15 U.S.C. 1546A provides that any joint resolution or bill to require the removal of the United States Armed Forces engaged in hostilities without a declaration of wars or specific statutory authorization shall be considered in accordance with the expedited procedures of Section 601B of the International Security and Arms Export Control Act of 1976, Public Law 1994, Tac 329, 90 Statute 765. So again, saying, hey, we can say to take people out. No 10. No specific statutory authorization for the use of United States armed forces with respect to the conflict between the Saudi Coalition and the Houthis in Yemen have been enacted, and with no provision of law explicitly authorizes the provisions of targeting assistance or of mid-air refueling services to warplanes of Saudi Arabia or the United Arab Emirates that are engaged in such conflict. So that's. So at one point it's saying, hey, we can go. Let me look at this again. So at one point it's saying that we can go help people, and then another point it's saying that we can't. I mean, am I reading that right? Number 8, number 10 seem to conflict with each other. So let's read this again. The assignment of members of such armed forces to command, coordinate, participate in the movement of, or accompany the regular and irregular military forces of any foreign country or government when such military forces are engaged or exist imminent threat. Okay, so it says we can go there and help them organize, but not actually take part. Okay, so then it's not a conflict then. Section 2, removal of United States armed forces from hostilities in the Republic of Yemen that have not been authorized by Congress. Pursuant to Section 1013 of the Department of State Authorization Act, fiscal years 1984 and 1985, 15 U.S.C. 1546 Alpha, and in accordance with the provisions of the Section 601B of the International Security Assistance and Arms Export Control Act of 1976, Public Law 94, Tac 329, 90 Statute 765. Congress hereby directs the President to remove United States armed forces from hostilities in or affecting the Republic of Yemen, except the United States armed forces engaged in operations directed at Al-Qaeda or associated forces by not later than a date that is 30 days after the date of the enactment of this joint resolution, unless the President requests and Congress authorizes the latest date, and until a declaration of war or specific authorization for use of such use of United States armed forces has been enacted. For purposes of this resolution, in this section, the term hostilities includes in-flight refueling of non-United States aircraft, including conducting missions as part of the ongoing civil war in Yemen. Section 3, rule of construction regarding continued military operations in cooperation with Israel. Nothing in this joint resolution shall be construed to influence or disrupt any military operations in cooperation with Israel. Fucking Israel. Section 4, rule of construction regarding intelligence sharing. Nothing in this joint resolution may be construed to influence or disrupt any intelligence, counterintelligence, or investigative activities relating to threats emanating from Yemen conducted by or in conjunction with the United States government involving 1. The collection of intelligence, 2. The analysis of intelligence, or 3. The sharing of intelligence between the United States and any coalition partner if the President determines such sharing is appropriate and in the national security interests of the United States. Section 5, report on risk posed by ceasing Saudi Arabia support operations. Not later than 90 days after the date of the enactment of this joint resolution, the President shall submit to Congress a report assessing the risks posed to United States citizens and the civilian population of Saudi Arabia and the risk of regional humanitarian crises if the United States were to cease support operations with respect to conflict between the Saudi-led coalitions and the Houthis in Yemen. And Section 6, report on increased risk of terrorist attacks the United States and armed forces abroad, allies in the continental United States, if Saudi Arabia ceases Yemen-related intelligence sharing with the United States. Not later than 90 days after the date of enactment of joint resolution, the President shall submit to Congress a report assessing risk of terrorist attacks on the United States armed forces abroad, allies, and the continental United States if the government of Saudi Arabia were to cease Yemen-related intelligence sharing with the United States. Section 7, rule of construction regarding no authorization for use of military force. Consistent with Section 8A1 of the War Powers Resolution 50 U.S.C. 1547A1, nothing in this joint resolutions may be construed as authorizing the use of military force. So, what does this all say? It basically says, okay, the military, the War Powers Resolution, or War Powers Resolution allows the United States military to do some things, but not all the things. And the things that our military are doing with regards to the genocide of the Houthis in Yemen are not allowed by the War Powers Resolution, and so the president is ordered to pull back all the troops that are involved in such things and make reports to Congress on basic different risk assessments, of different threats, terrorist attacks, and so forth. And this was vetoed by Trump. So it's basically saying, hey, you're doing something illegal, and Trump turns around and says, yeah, but so what? The first thing that comes to my mind is, you know, that poster that fucking moron made with the Twin Towers at the top saying, we said we'd never forget, and Ilhan Omar at the bottom saying, I'm proof that you've forgotten? Yeah, that fucking dipshit put the wrong picture on the bottom. He should have put the picture of Trump and Mohammed bin Salman buddying up with each other. Because, where did those terrorists come from again? Yeah.